Bump chicka womp womp. We'll make sure it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing here. Okay. Wow, that picture that I have up is really bad. I don't know why it has a picture of a leaf. Weird. Well, let's see. What are we doing here today? We're gonna smoke some reefer and just wanted to hang out and chill with some people. Hey, Gravel, what's up, man? How is it going, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, I thought I'd just, Yeah. Hey, welcome, man. Angus Knight, what's up? Yes, I just started, Gravel. Just started. And, Anthony, welcome, man. Hey, Tom. What is good, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Good to talk to everybody. Got a little pre-roll here of some Gorilla Glue number 4. Pretty good. Hey, what's up, man? Dominic E. Good to see you, man. Anthony, I'm going to check it right now. I think you did send me an email. Anthony, I'm going to reply to your email after this stream, and we'll figure out a way to meet up. I know, Grovel. I don't know why it's doing that. That it has this weird. It does both the events and stream now, and I've never been quite sure why. I'm gonna move that away from my face. Oh man. Absolutely, man. Ooh, Tom's enjoying that wedding cake. Very nice. I'm going to let that... San Diego. So not too far from old Long Beach. Just a couple hours up the old Pacific Coast Highway. Oh, man. So how's everyone doing today? Anything interesting going on in folks' lives? Watching anything interesting? Trying anything interesting? I myself, like so many others right now, just started watching The Witcher on Netflix. Played The Witcher 3. Really enjoyed it. Played it years ago back on Steam. And thought the show would be pretty dumb. You know, generic fantasy. And in many ways it is, but Henry Cavill plays a good Geralt. Geralt? I watched the show and played the game, and I can't even remember if it's Gerald or Geralt. Okay, let's see where we at. Raphael, welcome, by the way, and I am enjoying a Gorilla Glue number 4 pre-roll here. In just a second... Yeah, so I'll switch over to there and grab the Volcano here in just a bit. So Grovel is playing Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Is Sword Art Online, is it some kind of MMO? I know I've heard of it before, but I don't really know a whole lot about it, Grovel. Mad Crypto says he's planning on getting a new raw garden cart soon. Good for you, man. You can't go wrong with raw garden. Angus, my boy Angus, is trying to smoke, but has the problem that all of us have, every now and then, the missing lighter. I have lighters strategically placed all over my place. They're just ready to go. I don't actually know where anyone is at any given time. I just kind of stumble upon one when I need one. But I don't smoke a whole lot of flower, so I'm not super often going for it. First off, the Anthony said he had multiple interviews every day for the past week. Well, that's very cool, man. Where are you interviewing at, Anthony? What kind of work are you looking for? And Tony says he just finished the Messiah TV show on Netflix. I've heard about it. I haven't watched any of it myself. I like Michelle Monaghan quite a bit. That's the show where there's like somebody who proclaims in modern day proclaims to be Jesus, right? The sort of Jewish Messiah, and but may be the Antichrist. Sounds topical and fun, and not at all controversial. Anthony says, finally a day to do house shit. Good for you, man. I don't like doing house shit. Oh, Sword Art Online is an anime about an MMO. Oh, okay. I remember back in the PS2 days that there was a game called Dot Hack, I think, that there were like 5 or 6 of them. There were so many. That they were a game that was played inside an MMO. They were a single-player game, but you were playing a single-player game inside of an MMO, I think. Does that sound right? Dot Hack? Never played it. I just remember it. That was the era of, really weird and wild RPGs. Well, I guess that's also the PS1 and 60-bit generation too. Grovel said, do I see the Jesus simulator coming out? I did not know there was such a thing, Grovel. I didn't know that one could simulate being Jesus. But I will have to check out the Jesus simulator. It seems like it's a pretty, there's not a lot to simulate there. You kind of get born, you live, 30 years, and then they nail you to a cross, and then, the controversial part is whether or not you come back to life at the end of it or not. Christians say yes, Jews and Muslims say no, Buddhists say I don't give a shit. Okay. Rockules de God. Welcome, Rockules, by the way. Great name. Question for everyone. Why are dispensary prices outrageous in some states? Taxes, and taxes, Rockules. In California, where I live in Long Beach, whatever, you basically pay 50% more in taxes than what the sticker price shows. And they're outrageous. I'm a fan of taxes. I know that's weird. I like the idea of taxes, and I think the weed taxes go to good things. Although I do think that they are too high and they are shooting themselves in the foot. And by keeping them so high, they're keeping the black market flourishing, which is, one, getting people killed with those, black market carts with vitamin E acetate in them. And also, it's keeping, the prices in the black market are so much lower, keeping people interested in the black market, which keeps money, in the hands of presumably shady folks. It's, it's not a good system. I hope California at some point reassesses the taxing on weed and comes to something a little bit more reasonable. But, until that point, there are plenty of good black market options. Although, if I'm not mistaken, I think Weedmaps finally just pulled illegal dispensaries or, not licensed shops from their listings, I think, just now, which is kind of a big deal if that's the case. So it will be harder to find black market weed. Okay, well, Forrest Lynn says Death Note is great. I assume that it is. I have only seen the not so good, but not as terrible as everyone makes it out to be. American movie remake starring Willem Dafoe as the spiky monster. And it is interesting. The movie itself sort of fails on the execution on every level, but the concept is cool. Willem Dafoe is great. And it made me kind of want to watch or read the anime or whatever form you consume that in. Manga is written. Anime is animated? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Everybody's talking about that tax. Yes. Mad Crypto says, but I won't risk smoking illegal shit anymore. Not a bad idea, Mad Crypto. I'd say, you're probably still fine smoking flower from an illegal shop, but make sure you buy your cartridges if you're buying cartridges from somebody that is getting them from straight from the dealer. You don't want to fuck around with those black market cartridges. You can kill yours. You can die. Tony Toke says in Pennsylvania they don't pay taxes, but the sticker prices suck unless you can get discounts. Lowest for a gram of flour is $12, 42 for an eighth, and a half gram cart are like 40. Ooh, okay, yeah, that's pretty expensive. Even here at legal shops, if you look around, you can find, $10 a gram. You can find $30 an eighth, and you can find $25 half gram carts. You have to look around, but you could find them. Black Mariner says he only smokes flower from black market shops. Again, I think that's totally fine. Remember, for the majority of weed's history, well, not the majority of its history, the majority of its modern history, it has been illegal, and nobody ever died from consuming it that way. And just because there is now a legal market does not mean the illegal market will suddenly be, more detrimental to your health. That's the way I look at it, at least. But I still advise you to take purchasing stuff in the black market into your own hands. Make sure you trust who you're buying it from. That it's all on you. But I think you're safe to buy flour from those kind of shops. Although, man, as I said, if Weed Maps was really delisted, then that's bad news for those small shops, because I don't know how they're gonna. I guess just word of mouth. Black Mariner says, so that's the reason I got a message from a black market weed shop this morning. Yes, probably. I think in the new year they just started pulling all the unlicensed listings, which they should have done a while ago anyways, because Weed Maps knows if somebody has a license or not, but Weed Maps' customers don't, and they shouldn't have been willing to advertise for people that would sell cartridges that could kill you. But they definitely were, and they knew it for a while. So I have no sympathy for them. They should have done it earlier. Angus says Wheats has been spitting facts for 10 minutes straight. Black Mariner says, trust me, I know which South Central people know where the black market weed shops are. I believe that. For me, it was Wilmington used to be the black market weed haven du jour. I think most of them got busted, but for a long time, that's where, there'd be like 4 or 5 every block, black market dispensaries. Okay. Wow, I got ash everywhere. Hey, Shibby. Oh, no, I don't want to be famous, Shibby Bot. I don't want to buy followers, primes, and viewers, but thank you. I'm going to go hit up the volcanoes, so I'm going to switch cameras here. and see you guys there. We got ourselves the Volcano. A cool 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I know you're saying to yourselves, why not subtract 5 degrees and go for the easy pun or joke? And the answer is, because I didn't think of it until just now. So, fuck you. We also have a bong and a bubbler loaded and ready to go. Additionally, I've got my batch of 4 cookies left that I made the other night. Really been enjoying them. Cookies. Grovel says, I wonder which states are going to get legal weed this year. Grovel, I hope, I don't know. Oh shit, I gotta swap cameras again. I'm on the wrong side. I've got this fancy new setup with 2 cameras, and I hit a button, but I'm not good at it yet, guys. I'm not good at pressing one button. Tom A says, that Volcano is sweet. Grovel says, I need to buy me a Volcano. I love it. My Stores and Bickle beauty over there has been going strong for just over 3 years now. It is an investment. I mean, it cost me $500, I think. Maybe 400. I don't remember. One of those 200s, 4 or 5, 3 years ago. But man, is it great. The AVB you get out of it is how I made my cookies I just showed you guys. And those things are incredible. They're so potent. And so Volcano, get you some, it's my favorite way of inhaling weed, vapor, anything for sure, inhalant. You do get the very nice extra of the ABV. Although now they have that fancy hybrid that has like both the bag attachment and then like a hookah attachment that you can just directly inhale off the Volcano itself. Welcome, Zila, by the way. Good to see you back. Tony Toke says the worst part is there are only 8 growers for all of Pennsylvania and shorts are all too common. Standard Farms had some issues with hydrogen peroxide claims and sweeping under the rug. Oof. Only 8 growers for all of Pennsylvania. God damn, that is seems insufficient. Illinois, I know, was just going through similar problems where they ran out of weed. It seems to be a popular item. Who would have thunk? I just hope that all of these things are dumb little speed bumps and on our slow and steady path to national legalization. I mean, I'm incredibly optimistic, and I'm not an optimistic person by nature. If we're all alive by 2028, 2029, we'll say the year after that election, I'm pretty sure marijuana will be legal nationwide. You can go into any state and purchase weed in some way, shape, or form and not get hassled for it. It's a snowball down a hill. It's inevitable. The states that have it love it. They love the tax money. And generally, if you look at things like the lottery, where a lot of states have it illegal because of sin laws and stupid bullshit like that, they'll take as soon as their neighboring states get the lottery and they see how much money they start making, well, then those states start getting the lottery too. And then generally speaking, once a state takes in some kind of tax revenue, they then never, ever, ever, ever let it go again. Meaning, oh, my dogs are upset about something. Whoa. Easy, guys, easy. I think Mr. Amazon Man's here. Okay, wow, that was a long wind up to say a lot of stuff. Nudie. What a bitch. So Forrest Forrest Lynn, I think I'm saying that right, Forrest Lynn, says, please let Florida happen. Florida's gotta happen, man. I imagine it would be so good for tourism dollars, actually. Florida's all about those tourist bucks, and if they can be the first state in that area to get legal weed, and, you can go load up on edibles before you go to Disney World, I think that's going to do really well for Florida. I mean, Florida's a weird-ass state in every dimension. Florida is weird as fuck. But I think Florida will happen soon. I mean, they have pretty lax medical laws as far as I understand. So, fingers crossed. I'm optimistic. Again, as long as we're all still alive. So Mad Crypto says, do I know Dave Warden from the Weed Report? I do not know Dave Warden. I'll have to check out the Weed Report. I'm not sure what it is. Black Mariner says, any cherry on top recommendations? Let's see. I'll just give you some hyper quick movies. Holy shit, Uncut Gems. You've probably heard people talking about how Adam Sandler is good. Surprisingly, I'm not surprised. Adam Sandler's been amazing, and when he does dramatic roles, every now and then, this is his best role. This movie is like a panic attack. It's like a 2-hour-long panic attack, and it's amazing. It's incredible. I've never just felt that sense of just, I don't know, sort of frayed nerves as with Uncut Gems. Great movie. Super cherry on top. I think I didn't complain, the opposite of complain last time. I told everybody to watch One Cut of the Dead, the best movie of the year, One Cut of the Dead. I think it's on Shudder, the horror streaming service. Don't look up anything about it beforehand and just watch One Cut of the Dead. And then everybody who's in this chat right now can be smug that 4 years from now, when everybody's talking about One Cut of the Dead, or when some asshole in America decides to make an inferior remake of it, you can be that smug son of a bitch that says, well, I saw the original years ago and it's better. You can be that asshole, because it's going to happen, because it's a goddamn classic. Again, One Cut of the Dead, Japanese horror comedy. Don't look it up. Just watch it in whatever way, shape, or form you can, as quickly as you can, and then be smug. Okay, where am I? Mad Crypto says, that's old A word letting me know that my package has arrived. Mad Crypto says, you need to smoke the volcano, hit the bubbler, hit the joint, and eat a cookie all at once. I think I would aspirate the cookie. Shut up. I think I would aspirate the cookie at that point. It would go into my lungs, and then I would choke to death. Tony says, what is your Gorilla Glue number 4 testing at? The dispensary said 19, something like that. I mean, I don't really... what does that actually mean? What are they testing? What does this lab take to make that? Who gives the nug to break up to do the spectral analysis? I don't know. I'm always suspicious of milligrammage ratings, even from places that are lab tested, because a crop is huge, and they're testing such a small sample. It seems like it would be hard to. Anyways, that's just a dumb theory. Okay, Carvin Cosmonaut. Oh, Carvin Cosmonaut. Hey, comrade. Sputnik. Sputnik, can I watch your video? I'm gonna pass. I'm not sure what that link will bring me to. Give me some hints and maybe we will. Dank Genetic says, bro, you look like you are so high. Bro, you are right. Gotta take my second bag here in just a bit. And Oscar Rodriguez, calling my ass out from across the internet, says, stop talking and hit that shit, bitch. Message received, Oscar. Message received. Tony Doke says you should hit the bag through the bong. And then Black Mariner says, have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix? My wife and I just finished that last week. What a wackadoodle, crazy pants, holy shit, banana fuck story. Oh my God, man. Wow. Where do all these crazy stories come from this, new, I blame serial wave of true crime documentary podcast movie thingamajigs? There's so much fascinating shit that happens out there in the world that we don't know about. And, yeah, don't fuck with cats. Luca, wow, crazy son of a bitch. Mr. Patel, welcome, by the way. I just got here and I'm hella confused. How are you smoking through a bag? Mr. Patel, let me let you know. This is through vapor. You take, let's cut to camera and get a refill here. I'm going to do it more professionally this time. Watch this. Damn, I almost did it professionally. It would have been so cool. So, Mr. Patel, here is the oven. It's a little chamber. The reefer is in there. You take the oven, you stick it on top of this volcano, which is basically just a big heating coil and a fan. You take your big, goofy-looking bag thing, stick it on top of your oven, and you get that fan a-blowing, warms that weed up, turns that THCA into THC, and baby, you got a high going. After this bag, you guys get to decide bong or bubbler. Bong or bubbler. Boom! That's how you do. That's how you do. Wow, okay. Where are we at? Oscar says, you do a service for us. Thank you. Oscar, I can truly 100% tell you with absolute sincerity, it is my absolute, sorry for saying absolute twice, pleasure. Elaine, welcome, Elaine. Elaine, I think, please let me know if I'm saying that right. You say hi, and you mean hi. Ha ha. Puns, we love the puns here. Elaine, keep them coming. Kenyon says, let's see you rip a whole graham cart in one sitting like Eric Kahn. I wish I could. I don't have the lungs for that. I have the tolerance, but I mean, my lungs are already like charred. They are a little fried. So that's why I like the edibles a lot too. Tony says, they have guidelines there in Pennsylvania about their shit. $20 a gram and $70 an eighth. Whew. Damn. Eric, welcome, by the way, Eric. Eric prefers a blunt to the instruments there. Forrest recommends the bubbler, so that's where I'm going to go because he had the first one recommended to me. So that's what we'll do after this bag. Which, look how beautiful that bag is. Look how white and opaque it is. That ain't even translucent. That's just straight opaque. That means no light gets through. I would pass a 3rd grade physical science test like a goddamn champ. Translucent, transparent, and opaque. I am a 3rd grade science champ. Okay, Where are we at? Oh, Tony Tokes, that's why he said both. He said both. He recommended both. That's why I get it. I get it. Okay, so Ms. says, do you mess around with magic mushrooms? First off, welcome, Ms. M. I would like to mess around with magic mushrooms more than I have. I've only done them once. I did what was supposed to be a big dose, and I had made some new novel connections and thoughts, but I largely wasn't affected. I would love to do them more. I just finished Michael Pollan's incredible book from last year, How to Change Your Mind, which is his sort of deep dive into the sort of pharmacological hopes that are being pinned on psychedelics right now, specifically LSD and psilocybin. And it really, really made me want to explore it more, but I just don't have a reliable hookup for them, Ms. M. If I did, I would not hesitate to. Mr. Patel says, and does it get you as high as, say, a bong rip? What's the strength per hit looking like? For the bag, I mean. It really depends, Mr. Patel. I know some people who say that that they will always prefer to burn their weed, as in to incinerate it, because you get the most cannabinoids out at the same time that way, blah, 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 blah. For me, though, there's nothing that gets me higher than a volcano bag. In terms of value, you probably use more in the volcano. You probably burn through your stash more quickly on a volcano, but you do get to reuse it for edibles or firecrackers or whatever at the end, which to me is a huge, huge plus. Okay, Philip, welcome, Philip. Good to see you. Good to see you back. Forcelin says, have you tried different temperatures often? Yes, I have. I used to vape at a lower temperature to help my lungs, but it is not as good as, I used to vape at around 380, but there is a noticeable difference between 380 and 420. That 40 degrees Fahrenheit makes a noticeable difference. And sorry for my ignorant ass American ways and my, gross imperial measurement system. I wish I were smart enough for the metric. Goddamn you, American education system. Oh, and welcome, Ran VK. I am doing great. Thank you so much for joining. Sneaky Indian, welcome as well. That is an interesting name. What is a volcano bag? A volcano bag is a bag of marijuana vapor produced from, you just missed the demonstration. We'll come back to it again at some point. Eric says, yo boss, have you tried live rosin? How's the experience on that? I have never tried rosin in anything other than edibles. I've had edibles made from rosin before that were pretty good, but I've never actually, dabbed rosin before. I would like to. I would actually like to try a rosin press. I think it's a pretty cool idea, but I just have never gotten around to it. Andy G says, what is your day job? My day job is helping folks. Excuse me. Ms. M says, if you could only smoke one cannabis strain, what would it be and why? I'll go in my little strain rant rave thing right here, Ms. M, super quickly for you. I'm not a strain specific guy. I'm not even really an indica sativa guy. I think that strain makes people think that there's more uniformity to things than there really are. Like if I got this Gorilla Glue number 4 joint I was smoking here, this Gorilla Glue number 4 in here would look genetically, as different between, this would look completely genetically different than a Gorilla Glue number 4 being grown in upper Washington somewhere, so much so that it would look like they're, two completely different strains. Yeah, there's no uniformity in strains. So I find a dispensary I like and find a strain at that particular dispensary that I like, and then I'll kind of stick with that for a while. Like, this is Mendo's Breath from a specific dispensary here, and I really enjoy that particular strain. But I don't have one just to dole out because I think they're just so different. Like, it's impossible to say that the Mendo's Breath that I like from this place will be anything like the one that you like or that your dispensary carries. Ran says, "Do you like mango weed? Like a mango strain or eating mango with weed? Both, I guess." Eric says, "I want that day job. Don't we all? It's it's rewarding." Chris says, "I love your videos, brother." Well, thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining us. I don't think I said that before. Mr. Patel, do you prefer concentrates or buds? And what is your daily driver, your go-to setup for getting those cannabinoids nice and deep into your lungs? Mostly bud. Well, Mr. Patel, I prefer edibles above anything and everything, period. Edibles would be my number one way of ingesting cannabis. But if that is not an option, the Volcano is my favorite way. Then it would be probably the vape pod-based system plug and play after the Volcano. And then after that, most concentrates and probably flower just straight near the bottom. Just too harsh for me. Black Mariner says, "You're absolutely right about strains. I agree." Well, thanks, Black Mariner. I appreciate you backing me up. Kusari, welcome. Kusari, thanks for joining us. I hope I said your name correct there. You had a Mendo's Breath Select Elite cartridge, and good Lord, was it tasty. Glad you enjoyed it. A good Mendo's Breath. Love it, love it, love it. Ms. M says, "So cannabis vapor doesn't make you cough at all? Or is it just less coughing because the air is cold?" It does make me cough. Sometimes I think my coughing is more psychosomatic than it is actually something physical, because sometimes I can cough, I can do bag after bag after bag after bag without coughing once. And then sometimes I will cough so much after one hit that I almost puke, literally. Like, I'll just cough until I almost feel like I'm puking. And I never understand why that happened, why sometimes I seem almost allergic to it, and other times I seem totally unbothered by it. I don't know. Maybe it's all psychosomatic. Who knows? Mad Crypto says, "Cushy Punch are by far my favorite edibles. They are tasty and strong. I originally did not enjoy Cushy Punch. I tried Cushy Punch TKO years ago and didn't enjoy it, and people grilled me. They just tore me to pieces saying, 'What the fuck are you talking about?' So I went back. It was one of the few things I re-reviewed and actually found that I did love it. I don't know if I got a weird batch, or maybe I didn't have the right amount of fats in my system or something the first time. But yeah, Cushy Punch is great. Love all their gummies. Ran says, with no burnt, I can't remember the context, Ran. I'm too high, and I am sorry. Sneaky says, "Illinois just legalized at the start of the year, and I'm not sure what to expect when going into a dispensary and the process of picking out weed legally." Yes, Sneaky, it looks like there's, hour-long waits. They're running out of weed, and the prices are apparently outrageous, but it is a really fun and special experience. I remember my first time going into a dispensary. It was not in California. It was in Denver in August 2014. Got a cab out of the Denver airport going to our hotel, stopped at a dispensary along the way, and it is a surreal experience the first time you go into a dispensary if you have grown up in a world where weed is illegal. Up is down, left is right, dogs are cats. buttholes are pee holes. It's fucked in a good way. Mad Crypto, I am getting so far behind on the chat, guys, and I apologize. I'm sorry, I'm coughing in the mic. Also agree with the strain thing. I go more for the looks and smell rather than the name. Gotta get them perps. Gotta get them crystals. Black Mariner says the best weed strain that I've ever smoked was some authentic Khalifa Kush. I don't know if I've ever had the Khalifa Kush. I'll have to be on the lookout. Thanks for the heads up. Yes, they do, Black Mariner. They absolutely. He points out that the black markets like to exaggerate their potencies, and that is true. So, Mr. Patel says, that's interesting. Edibles never seem to get an effect for me. Plug and play is definitely my favorite way of smoking. My man, they are so potent and so convenient at the same time requires no effort. Yes, that's the thing, is it's the laziest way to get the most powerful weed. Like, it almost feels wrong to be able to do so little work and get a hit so potent. You're used to having to put your ice in your bong and lighting it up and getting that shit in your lungs, but nope, just a little button press and whew, up you go. But Mr. Patel, I would recommend try a higher dose edible than you've ever been comfortable with doing before. Taking it with some fat, extra fat, and then even what's in it, and just seeing if you can do it. But I know some other people that say that edibles they just don't really work on them, or they don't have the same effect. So that might be the case with you. And before you go wasting your money on an expensive edible, maybe think about that as well. Yes, Mad Crypto again saying, going to the TLC Collective. I am looking forward to checking it out for sure. Forrest Lynn says, terpenes affect smoke, so don't worry about coughing. Thank you, thank you. Ran, so says, this is no tobacco in here. Yes, just pure, sticky, icky devil's lettuce. Let's just pull up the Wikipedia article for weed names. List of cannabis names for cannabis. 420, aced, alfalfa, amnesia, Angola, ashes, asparagus, astroturf, ashtishti, Aunt Mary, baby, babysitter, bag of bones, bamba, lambacha, black bark, black gunyon, blaze, blonde, blue sage, bobo bush, boo bama. Wow. You never fail to disappoint me, Wikipedia. I mean, the opposite of disappoint me. Entertain me. Ms. says, what healthy, tasty cannabis drinks or foods would you recommend? Well, it's very easy to make coconut oil, canna coconut oil, and you can do a lot of healthy things with coconut oil. So I would recommend Ms. M. Infuse yourself some coconut oil and use whatever recipes you got with coconut oil, and it'll do you just fine. Hello, Natalie. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us. Rand wants to know how he can get some weed. Move to California would be my first response. My second response would be move to Colorado. And my third response would be ask that shady guy down the street that, you know, your mom told you to watch out for. Black Mariner says animals are the best way to ingest THC. Interesting. Before he corrects edibles, not animals. Rand, how can you get this bag? You can purchase this on eBay. The stores in Bickle, Volcano. Be aware there are a lot of counterfeits out there. If the price is too good to be true, it is. You can make sure you get it from an official retailer because these things are counterfeited because they're worth a lot. And, you know, people are shady and shitty. They're expensive, but they are worth it. Forrest Lynn says the mason jar method is great for making coconut oil. What is your mason jar method, Forrest? I have also made. I just made my first batch of, well, not just, several weeks ago now, made a batch of, what's it called? Green Dragon tincture. The stuff where you basically just put an ounce of weed in a thing of Everclear and let it get all funky. And I had it. I let it sit for about a month, shook it up, got patient, strained it out at the end. I can't. One, I have a problem with alcohol. It makes me sick pretty much immediately. And so even the smell of it is just, and I just had an ounce of weed that I used for this. And I still have the tincture, the green alcohol-y byproduct, but I cannot force myself to try it. I just think I'm going to barf if I do. But maybe that'd be a good video. Trying my Green Dragon tincture on camera and just retching all over this equipment here. That'd be good. YouTube is PooTube. Well, welcome, YouTube. I love the name PooTube. Well, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for tuning in from the west or the East Coast, my former coast, sort of. I lived in East Tennessee. We're not a coastal state, but we still consider ourselves on the East Coast. But we were not coastal elites. We hate coastal elites. Those smug bastards in their ivory towers with their cultural hegemonies. Laughing at us for watching CBS while they watch their HBO prestige dramas. Ugh. Man, I gotta watch Watchmen. Speaking of HBO prestige dramas, I can't believe I haven't seen it yet. I love the Watchmen. Black Mariner says, always go with the trusted edible brand like Kiva or Bang Bar. Yes, 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 Black Mariner, great advice. Always, always stick with the reputable brands. Do not venture out. You're gonna get ripped off if you do. Oh, well, thanks, man. Rand, you look great, too. Forrest Lynn says, you should look up Vice TV Bong Appetit Show on YouTube. I have heard of it. I have just never watched it for some reason. It seems like it's right up my alley. It's a weed cooking show. Ooh. That's a spicy meatball. I'm going to go get that bubbler as my lungs... my lungs need a break from this harsh vapor. I need to cool them off with some much hotter and harsher smoke. It's the only solution. I would just cut cameras, but I know I'm going to mess it up. So I'm just going to walk there. Captain Jack Kickass, or Captain Kickass, I don't think OJ could hack it. He's not cut out for it. He ain't got the chops. He would murder. He would. I'm out. Damn it. Bubbler time. Now that we just got out through some classic OJ jokes. Rand says, you at YouTube? Name? Yes, sir. Wheats Reviews. W just like this. Please feel free to subscribe there, Rand. Tom is laughing. Well, thanks, Rand. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to blow my nose, so I'm going to mute this for a second. I'm going to be really nice to you guys. I'll be right back. Oh, that's way better. Black Mariner says, have you ever played Death Stranding? I have not yet played Death Stranding. Shame on me. I'm a big Kojima guy. I just, for whatever reason, haven't... I don't know. It sounds very intriguing. I don't know. I haven't been in the mood for something so Kojima weird-ish recently. I haven't been in the mood to have, like that area of my brain scratched recently with cuckoo imagery and people named things that are so on the nose it's ridiculous. Because his name's Sam Porter Bridges, right? Or something. And it's a game about a guy carrying things and making bridges. I will play it at some point, Black Mariner. My guess is Black Mariner is that I will play the inevitable PS5 remaster. That I'm just going to wait until then. Wait till it comes out on, the Game of the Year edition on PS5. That's 4K 60. And I'm going to get that version. Oh, no, it comes out on PC this summer. I'll probably actually get it for PC. That's what I'll do. I'll just get it on the PC. Ranj, Mr. Kumar says, I did. Welcome, Mr. Kumar. Glad you're here. I'm not sure what you did, but congratulations on doing it. Captain Kickass says, you sound like I do when I'm vaping shatter. So I am sorry, Captain Kickass, that all your friends think you sound like a little... well, I'm not going to use the gendered slander phrase, but I think we knew what I was going to say because I'm a bad person. Elaine says, please come to Canada and taste our shit. I would love to. Got to get my passport updated because, might need to become I might need to become an illegal permanent or, an illegal resident myself at some point to our neighbors up north. Nolan P says, what's up, bro? Take a fat rip. This one's for you, Nolan. Thank you for joining in. That one's for you, Nolan. Mr. Kumar says, nice glasses. You are welcome. That's not what you say when somebody says nice to you. You say thank you. You don't say you're welcome. One, I'm rude, and two, I'm probably pretty stoned. Ms. M says, what one quality about yourself would you change if you could? Ms. M is dropping the, fucking existential landmines on us here. I would probably change my, oh damn, Ms. M, let me put a feather on that and we'll come back to it. You have to remind me, but I need to give it some thought because, there's a lot to choose from. It's a big old list. Well, thank you, Mr. Kumar. I appreciate that. Captain Kickass pointing out the word so elegantly. Elegant. Tom A said, what do I think of the newest Star Wars? I think it's really bizarre why Disney felt the need to rush this whole trilogy. Why did they feel the need to do it in 4 years? At one point, they wanted to do it there was a time before they fired Colin Trevorrow, the original director, and rehired JJ, that they wanted this to come out in May. Like a 16, 17-month turnaround from the last one. And then ended up, because they needed more time, to delay it till December. Yeah, caramba. Everything about all three movies just feels like one never thought about the end from when they started at the beginning, which to me seems dumb. You knew you were going to make a trilogy. Why not go ahead and write the whole story at one time? And why did Disney why didn't they just space it out every 3 years like the prequels did? Give people more time to anticipate them, and give your creative staff more time to make a compelling story. So I don't know. I didn't hate it. I'm not a hater, but it felt so tossed off for the final episode in the most important movie franchise ever. It just felt like, nah, we got to get this out. Let's just get something out, which is just, I don't know. Disney does what Disney does. Quentin, welcome, Quentin. Thanks for joining us. Says, yo, dude, you ever get panic attacks from weed when you get high? I do not. I am lucky in that regard. I know some people get them very badly. I don't, not at all. Sometimes I'll get those brief paranoid thoughts, like, more on the existential nature, like, oh my God, I'm actually going to die at some point. Like, oh shit, human beings are nothing but an absolute blip on the, total time span of the, beginning and end of everything. What, we're so insignificant. What does anything matter? Those kind of paranoid thoughts, but never like, they're after me, man. They're coming for me. I don't get those, thankfully. I just get am I really a Boltzmann brain? Do I even exist? Captain Kickass says, for money. Good for you. I don't remember the context. Rand says, you know what's happening in Iran? I sadly do. Unless something, is there something brand new, Rand? Like in the last hour? Because if you're referring to things in the past couple of days, I am unfortunately, all too aware. Holy shit. I haven't been, keeping up with chat, and I'm sorry. Elaine says, what's your favorite music to get high on? Elaine, I probably something upbeat. That doesn't mean something energetic. That's probably a better adjective for it. That's cheery. I prefer things that are cheery. Normally, I'm a big fan of sad bastard music. All my music is, stuff that you would assume you would find on the mixtape of the kid who made the wrong decision in high school. But when I'm high, I'd prefer something with a little bit more pep. Los Angeles King says, hey, bro, what do you think about black market shops being shut down all over the LA area? Do you think they will return? If the financial incentives are still good enough for them, they will come back. If unless LA is deciding to impose harsher penalties, or if the cost of doing business gets too high, I think for sure they'll just keep coming back. There's just too much money to be made not to. But if crackdowns are worse, if the penalties are criminal now or far harsher than they were before, I would assume you'd see a slowdown in them, but maybe not a complete stop. Nolan says, would you rather smoke some dab or keef? Probably some dab, actually. Justin says, and welcome, Justin. I'm so confused why I have 2 live videos of you with 2 different chats. You're just as confused as I am, man. I don't understand why YouTube now has 2 different things. I'm going to try to fix it for the next live stream. Captain Kickass says, why they made Star Wars so fast? It's for the money. Very true. Obviously, Captain Kickass, it's for the money. Disney, there's nothing Disney loves more than that cheddar. But my argument is that they've done so much damage to the Star Wars brand that they're going to make less money in the long run because people are going to not have such fond feelings for Star Wars, and they're not going to buy as much stupid plastic shit. They're not going to buy, their every Funko Pop for every different Stormtrooper variety for this movie because they didn't like it as much. And sure, they may have made some more money in the short term by making them that close, but if people don't like Star Wars as much at the end, it wasn't worth it. It definitely wasn't. So, I don't know. We'll see. So Elaine says, thanks for your answer. You are welcome. Ms. M says, what if any cannabis has given you in the terms of perception on life that non-cannabis smokers may not consider? For me, this is a different kind of answer than you were probably originally looking for. Ms., you're probably looking for a mind expansion kind of answer. But that's not what I have right now. What I would say is that people who smoke weed have a much better idea about just how much horseshit propaganda was fed to them their entire lives than other people, and that how people who have no idea about, no true idea about how things actually work, have no problem seeming like experts and espousing just complete and total bullshit for reasons that don't make any sense whatsoever. So for me, smoking weed, just the thing that expanded my mind on the most was like, man, if I was told weed was this dangerous and it is this, at the worst is harmless, it's like, what else, what else was I misinformed about? What other things was I told to abstain from for reasons that don't make perfect sense? So I don't know. That's my answer for now. Black Mariner says, I love the rap jazz mix on Spotify for his weed music playlist. That actually sounds pretty good. That's a pretty interesting mix up, Raz and Jap. Jazz and rap. I think that would be some weird transitions from songs into others. Andrew says, are you voting for Trump 2020? If not, who are you voting for? Andrew, I will be voting for a candidate whose Justice Department does not believe that people should be prosecuted for smoking weed. Los Angeles King says, Black Mariner, where at, bro? They are all gone on weed maps. Yeah, all the legal dispensaries seem to be nixed. Black Mariner says, you have to watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, then cancel the membership. I have watched about half The Mandalorian. I enjoy it. It's okay. It's not as, I'm not super fawning over it. But I was the guy who paid for the whole year of Disney Plus at one go, because you get it for like $5.50 a month instead of $70. Yeah. No, it's $5 a month, I think, because it was like $60 for the year. So I was like, oh, whatever. I just watched Frozen the other day. I literally, outside of the chorus to the song Let It Go, I had never actually heard it. I had never heard the whole song. I had only heard Let It Go, Let It Go, and that's all I knew. And then I was like, oh, I have this Disney Plus. Oh, Frozen, that's a thing. And then I watched it, and it was okay. It's fine. But now I've officially heard the song Let It Go, so I just need to hear Desperado at some point, and I will be all caught up on my pop cultural references. But not sure I'll get to Desperado anytime soon. Captain Kickass says, good time to buy Star Wars comics while everyone is hating on it. I know the comics is where they, usually tell their coolest, best stories and really expand on the stuff in the movies. Rand says, have I ever had bong milk? I have not, and it sounds disgusting. What is bong milk, Rand? Captain Kickass says, weed is not dangerous. Of course it is not. It is not dangerous at all. That's sort of I was trying to badly make my point is that, I was told for my entire adolescence that weed is a very dangerous substance, and it is not just not dangerous, it is in some ways beneficial to many people, and as a just recreational substance, the fact that people can say, the fact that people can with a straight face hold a bottle of Jack Daniels in their hand and say that weed is a terrible drug is just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. I mean, there is no universe in which alcohol. If our society wants to ban weed, which they already do, fair enough, go for it. You just gotta ban alcohol with it. You can't be that level of a hypocrite. It is in every sense more detrimental to your health and more of a detriment to society than weed is. So anyways, Captain Kickass says vote for Bugs Bunny. Yes, I can't disagree. I'm more of a Daffy fan, but Bugs, he would be he'd be a fine president. Nolan P says, have a good one. You too, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Justin asks, what do you think about the prices and taxes in the recreational dispensaries? Yes, I've heard they are outrageous. I assume they will come down quite a bit in the near future, but for now, you are certainly paying a premium to be one of the first there in Chicago. It seems like it's only for millionaires right now, though. Candy Cane, hey, Candy Cane, what's up? Good to see you. Happy New Year to yourself. Glad everything is going cool over there in jolly old England. Rand says it's an Indian alcohol in celebration. That is bong milk with weed. Ugh. Rigatoni says, can you separate art from Rigatoni, I really like your name, Rigatoni. And can you say art from the artist? Is that the last part of that sentence? And the answer is, I struggle with it, if that's the question. Captain Kickass says, Popeye's chicken is more dangerous than weed. Sure is. If you will, Popeye's chicken, consuming Popeye's chicken every day will kill you faster than consuming weed every day. For sure. Unless there's a freak accident involved. Or oh shit. I gotta go turn the volcano back on. It turns off. I'm gonna go do the scene transition. I'm gonna do it like a professional this time. Are we ready? Here we go. I'm here. And the microphone's working and everything. Although I can't see the chat. I do have a monitor right here that I was supposed to put the chat on so I could see the chat and talk. But I just haven't done it. Oh, there's the camera. I'm looking over here. So my Volcano, probably tough to see these digits, got to get back up to that 425 number. So we got 120 degrees to go. I usually do about 3 of these small bags per chamber. So it'll be time for a refill here afterwards. We'll collect that in our AVB bin for later use. Reuse, reduce, recycle. 1990s. So I think I'm just going to stand here awkwardly and talk to you guys and not read what's going on while this heats up. Oh, I know. Joints. Joint me, will you? I'm sorry. But joint me, will you? Candy Cane, I am really sorry that you and Mark still live in a place that does not have this as an easy way to access this in a legal or semi-legal fashion. I mean, I know the penalties aren't too harsh there, but, you know, this is still... This is one of the few things that America's still got on a lot of the world. We might not have access to universal health care. Our children may never be able to afford college. Our voting system will continually be favor rural, unpopulated flyover states. But God damn it, do we have weed? Oh shit, that was more Nazi than salute. I meant like salute, not like, geez Louise. I Laura Ingram'd it. I did a real Laura Ingram there. Where are we at? 425! Perfect. And inflate. Get the aromas. Oh, damn it, I forgot to transition back. Oh, man. I really thought I was going to do it well, but I fucked it up. Fucked it up. Okay, where are we at? I'm going to have to speed pick up here. Carson, welcome Carson, by the way. Glad you could join us. Says, what would you say is your favorite cart to pick up? My favorite cart is a pod-based system. It would be plug and play. My favorite just normal 510 threaded cartridges. There are quite a few that I like. Any of the live resin ones, Raw Gardens live resins, really good. Beelzebub, really good. And I really like Orchard cartridges as well. But if you don't mind getting yet another battery, the plug-and-play system is far and away the best THC vape delivery system that I know of. That was a long answer. I said I was going to speed round. Justin says, yeah, when I was out in Denver, you could get shatter for $20 and wax for 5 to 10, depending on the place. That is why the black market will thrive. Yes, people are always going to be price motivated, especially for things like drugs. They're going to look for the best deal. Weed is a price, drugs are a price-sensitive market. Captain Kickass, but they're also a price-captive market in that people will pay anything for drugs too. Weird. Captain Kickass says a freak accident overdosing on Popeye's chicken. Captain Kickass, that ain't no freak accident. That is called rational behavior to overdose on Popeye's chicken because people love their Popeye's chicken. If I was I like their like chicken fingery things. I'm not a just huge traditional fried chicken fan, but there's some people who really love it, and go for it. That's a rational decision to gorge and eventually die on Popeye's fried chicken. Rand says, "Can I share you my person?" I don't know exactly what that means, Rand, but I would love to share your person with. Is that a swinging thing? I'm not sure. Please clarify. I'd love to. That's what you wanted to share, a video. What is this going to be? Well, that was a video. Thank you for sharing. That was very colorful looking. I will watch it in full later. Oh, awesome, Candy Cane. Very cool. Well, hit us up when you get out here, and we'll show you the best spots. I'm sure your friend grows great stuff, but there's a lot of variety out here. Welcome, Easy Dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to say your name, Easy. Please let me know. I'd be happy to say it correct. I'd love to say it correctly. He says, "Toke it up, brother. What are you smoking on?" And this is some Mendo's Breath Indica. Really good stuff. Justin says, "I did not see that coming." Puns. Nazi puns. Captain Kickass says, "I use a regular mod with New York." Oh, so you make your own stuff for vaping. You don't buy the pre-made cartridges. You actually take a portable dab rig with you. Angus says, "Try the Sherbinski's live resin cart." I have, Angus. It is one of the reviews that I have done that I held off doing with the whole scare thing, and but will maybe now put out. I really enjoyed it, the Sherbinski's. Nicholas, welcome, Nicholas, says, "What the fuck? Make videos, idiot." You're right. I apologize. Rand says, "You delay?" Maybe. I'm not sure what I delay, but it's hard to keep up at this point. It's a bubbler, big joint, 3 of these. Yeah. Oh my God, guys. HBO, Bong Joon-ho, Adam McKay teaming up for Parasite Limited Series. What? What? Parasite Limited Series on HBO with Adam McKay? What? I want that shit. I want that shit right now. If you haven't seen Parasite, guys, you got to see Parasite. That guy, Bong, believe it or not, a guy named Bong, he hits him out the park. Working on it, Nicholas, I promise. Justin says, do the live resin carts have a cut of some sort, or is the live resin melted into the cart? I'm not sure how they do it, because I know live resin looks different than normal, the stuff that would be in carts. I don't know if they have some kind of additive or what makes it viscous or less. God damn, I suck at the word viscous. Whatever more or less viscous is. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Live resin, melted cartridges. Okay, wow, I'm so excited about this Bong, this Parasite limited series. Viscosity. Yes, I was talking about like, because live resin is less or more viscous than other stuff, meaning like it has a, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about it at all, and maybe I should just, instead of talking about live resin, I should talk about, man, what was I, oh, I'm going to go back to Star Wars for a second, because I am about halfway through, I think about halfway through Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm finally getting my groove with that game. I started on the second highest difficulty, and it was kicking my ass at the beginning. But I've started to learn its rhythms, enjoying it. I still get frustrated with it every now and then because it doesn't feel quite as... There's just like one layer of jank to it that sometimes things feel like, well, no, why didn't that work the way it should have? But I'm still quite enjoying it. The Wookiees look ugly as sin. Sometimes the game looks really beautiful and incredibly impressive, and sometimes it looks like ass, and I'm not... I assume that wasn't... I'm assuming it was rushed as well, so that's probably it. Where Brunzer. Hello, welcome, my friend. I am sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Looks very German to me, to my American eyeballs. And no sprechen Sie Deutsch, but I would love to say your name correctly or whatever. I'm just going to call you DB in the meantime. I was talking about energy. Ran, I am sorry. I do not... I'm not following Ran. I'm not following this order of sentences from one to the next. And that is on me, I understand, but we'll get on the same length soon. Captain Kickass says you should watch Star Wars The Old Republic. Is that a show? Like, I know there's Knights of the Old Republic, the old BioWare games, and then there's the MMO SWOTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic. But I've played the BioWare games way back when on the original Xbox. Never played the MMO. But yeah. Darth Revan, all that shit. Although that's no longer canon, I think. Right? All that stuff's not canon. So I wasted my time. Can you believe that? I wasted time in my teenage years. That was time I could have used for even more masturbating. And now that Disney's taken over the Star Wars franchise, my whole Knights of the Old Republic playthroughs, they're meaningless. They have no meaning. Shouldn't have ever done it. Should have been masturbating. We're still talking about Germans. Hello, DB. What's the best thought I have ever had on weed, says DB. DB, my favorite thoughts to think when I'm on weed, and my favorite topic to always talk about, my my pet topic, my favorite little thing to think about is, man, when I get really high, I just become convinced that there's no possible way that I am not just a Boltzmann brain, that I don't actually exist, that nothing actually exists, that I'm just a random assemblage of subatomic particles in a vacuum somewhere, and that have blinked into existence and then have blinked out of existence and will blink out of existence in the next moment. And everything I think of as a memory is just a random electrical discharge from a particular pattern of subatomic particles arranging themselves in a totally random way due to some, totally normal quantum fluctuation. I mean, how could you not be that? That is the only logical thing to conclude. It's so much easier than to believe that there's a 15 billion year old universe that has had a series of events, each leading to the next, and each one of those would eventually lead to my existence. Like, if you go back Laplace's demon style, hit that original billiard ball, you could predict at some point all of those subatomic particles were going to, just bounce off, bank shot off each other in such a ways to get thoughts in people's head to make them, fuck these people in this order, that eventually that I would be here at this time? No. I mean, it's just so much easier to believe that I'm just everything I've, believe and think, and everything that is in my head currently is all there is. And in the next moment, I will fluctuate out of existence and none of us will be here. Because none of us exist. There is no us. The people that I'm reading in this chat in a Boltzmann brain theory are just a random electrical fluctuations in this hypothetical space brain that just fluctuated, that just popped into existence before popping out. So, that's my favorite thing to think about, is that I don't exist. Nothing exists. That just some sodium and potassium ions went, and then it was like, well, I'm a person, and I'm looking at like a VR headset and a wall and a couple of monitors and shit, and then I'm gone. Okay, sorry, that was a long answer, but I am glad I got to go through it. Black Mariner says, Mindhunter on Netflix is a great series to watch while high. I need to get around to watching it. I know that's the David Fincher show. I love me some David Fincher. I know he directed only like the first episode or whatever, but I've heard great things about it. It seems really cool. Just have never watched it for whatever reason, but it is on the list. Crucial Styles, welcome Crucial. Thanks for joining us. Says, what, you went live? I did go live 90 minutes ago. Captain Kickass says, fuck Disney. Captain Kickass, don't upset the beast too much. Before too much longer, Disney's going to own your cable company, and they're going to scroll back through, your entire history and look to see if you've said anything bad about the mouse before they send Goofy over to finish the job. I mean, how does Disney not own everything by 20 more years from now? Like, who can compete? How is any, unless Congress gets involved and says, all right, we got to bust up the house of mouse here, they will just keep buying and buying and buying and buying. I mean, there are already rumors that they're eyeing Warner Brothers, and that the ink hasn't even dried on the Fox deal yet. So don't say too much bad stuff about Disney, or they're going to kill you in the future for sure. They are going to murder you. I love you, Disney. I'm not saying anything bad about you. I love ESPN. I love Hulu. I love ABC. I love whatever ABC Family's called now. Okay. Dear Ware Brunzer says, interesting, kind of the same. I think you're thinking about, if we're talking about Boltzmann brains, good to know that we are on the same wavelength, even though that neither of us exist. Crucial Style says, thanks for your input on everything. Thank you so much, Crucial. I appreciate you saying that. That's very kind. Justin says, that sounds like some DMT thoughts. I know, but it is... Listen, I'm not smart enough to come up with the concept of a Boltzmann brain myself. It got its name from Ludwig Boltzmann, the guy who basically created the concept of statistical mechanics. And as a consequence of that, one of the sort of consequences of a universe where if everything, or as a consequence of both quantum physics, in which there are things that can just truly fluctuate in and out of existence and it's happening constantly, and if in a low entropy world, there would just be, by random happenstance, if the time scales were long enough, and we're talking about, infinite times longer than the universe has already existed, then the weirdest shit should just start You would, if you just sat and watched an empty part of space for long enough, theoretically, every single thing you've ever think of or could think of should fluctuate into existence at some point. Now, that's not theoretically possible because we assume that the proton will decay and there will be a heat death of the universe. But even in the heat death of the universe, there will still be quantum fluctuations, and you could assume that that could still happen. So, I mean, it's just weird shit, dog. I think it just... Man, once you start getting real small, things start getting real weird, guys. Okay, David Ringler. Welcome, David. Welcome. Disney ruins even Pearl Harbor. I would argue, Crucial, that the Japanese ruined Pearl Harbor. And then after the Japanese, Michael Bay. Crucial says they make a movie as dark as their behind the scenes are. I know a couple of Disney cast members or acquainted with, and they have some fun stories, and a lot of those urban legends about tunnels and shit. It's true. They have incredibly sophisticated logistical infrastructure at those parks. And certainly some dead people. Oh, fun fact about Disney. A buddy of this shared with me, and I really liked it. That no Disney park has ever had a fatality at the park. There's never been a fatality at any Disney park. Now, there have been plenty of fatalities on ambulances on the way to the hospital out of Disney parks, but Disney has managed to either somehow prevent anybody from ever being declared dead inside the walls of the park, just so that they can keep that honor. I'm sure they've done some shady shit to prevent, to keep that from happening, but they still do have that distinction, even though it's totally bullshit, because they just wait till they get out of the park to declare them dead. Crucial Styles says, Justin says, do you believe we pass on to the fourth dimension and keep passing on after those experiences? Well, Justin, the fourth dimension is simply just time. So there's X, Y, Z, and time. And I don't believe we... No, I'm pretty cynical when it comes to that stuff. If I am not a Boltzmann, I'm a true determinist, guys. I'm going to go on a quick rant. I'm a complete determinist. Even both Newtonian and quantum, looking at it both ways, to me, it doesn't matter. Either way, the world is still totally deterministic. I don't believe in the concept of punishment. I don't think anybody is responsible for their actions. I don't know how to square that circle. I don't know how you can blame anybody for anything when it seems like truly the world is nothing but the largest, most, it's a galactic game of billiard balls with googles of, well, actually not googles, but 10 to the 45th number of particles just bouncing around, and those particles are always going to bounce around in the same way, the same time, the same order every single time. It's immutable, cannot be changed. It was always going to happen that way. So how do you believe in punishment? Because nobody's responsible for their actions. Like this conversation I'm having right now with you, I was always going to have. I have no choice in this matter. From the second the universe, inflated into existence, those particles were set off into motion in such a way that those thoughts were going to spring into my head from, the calcium that I blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how to believe in punishment, but I'm very high too. So, I get real weird. I get real esoteric, real in the, esoteric. No, I get real, existential, with it. Crucial Style says we are atoms. True, but what are atoms? Well, atoms are really just, oh, God damn it. Quick other rant, and then I promise I'm getting back to the chat. I promise I'm going to get back to the chat. It seems weird to me that we still teach kids that, atoms are the building blocks of everything. Like they're the smallest, everything is comprised of atoms. True. But also everything is comprised of molecules, or everything is comprised of matter. Atoms are not the smallest. I mean, I kind of get it from like a materials perspective. Like, it's very easy to point to like, okay, well, this arrangement of a proton, neutrons and electrons makes this material and this makes that material. But we know that those protons and neutrons are not the smallest units of matter. They divide down again. And, you learn about quarks, but you're still taught like, atoms are the foundation of everything. That's not true. There is at least one more foundational level. And, if things like string theory are right, there's another still, at least one, but I don't know. I am done now. Okay. I'm going to catch up here. Crucial Style says, can Disney own Amazon? No, I don't think so. I think, Amazon and Amazon and Disney will be two of the survivors left. You'll have Amazon, you'll have Disney, you'll have Google, you'll have Facebook. I think unless, they make some really dumb decisions. I can't even say for sure you'll still have an Apple in the future. They don't have enough they don't own enough of the infrastructure of things. Zero, what's up, Zero? Thanks for joining in, man. I'm glad you're here. And Christopher, thanks for joining us. And you said, where can I get that astronaut banner you have? It's a blanket, actually, and I got it online somewhere. And if I had batteries in it, it actually twinkles. Like when you put diamonds in your omelet, makes your dookie twinkle. Oh, that Chappelle Show line still makes me giggle to this day. Makes your dookie twinkle. And thank you for the kind words. Oscar, you're not down to kill the bag in one pull. Oscar, you're right. Let's do this. If I choke to death, it's on you. I can't. My lungs are too small. Here we go. I'm going to clean this oven out now that I got a red coffin face. Where am I? Dear Wearer, my German buddy says, so who put the idea of the Boltzmann brain in the idea of the Boltzmann brain into your head? I think the first time I encountered it was in probably From Eternity to Here, one of Sean Carroll, the Caltech physics professor's books. It's called From Eternity Here. It's his book about time. I think it was the first place I encountered that concept. And then since then, anytime I, get the opportunity to find somebody who will engage with it as a concept, I sort of greedily read about it because I think it's amazing. Rand, my boy Rand says, can you watch vids? I should. Oh, Black Mariner says Debt by David Graeber is an awesome book. It is a must read. Couldn't agree more. Debt is way up there on my favorite nonfiction things. I just love how bold Debt is. He ain't afraid to make big claims and, or engage with ideas in sort of controversial ways or unexpected ways. I love Debt. I don't necessarily know if I agree with 100% of his things, but I love the way he frames his arguments, and I love just how sort of bold he is as a historian, I guess you would call him. I don't know. Love it. Great recommendation, Black Mariner. Double up that on Debt. Yes. All right, I'm going to look at what this is, Rand. Let's see what this is here.
Hinduism, the religion of over 1 billion people, is the world's oldest religion and probably the most confusing one to non-Hindus. Some say it isn't even a
I know what Hinduism is, buddy. As much as any ignorant American, which I guess is not a lot. Captain Kika says, read the last book of Enki and you'll see where humans came from. What is that, Captain Kickass? Hello, Uninspired. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us, man. I have not heard of that. Ran, I will definitely. Well, I can't watch it right now, Ran. I promise I will watch it later, and we'll talk more about Hinduism and their incredible pantheon of gods and Shiva and Vishnu and Brahmins and castes and untouchables and Modi and all those fun things. Just 2 minutes. What is in there? What is in there? I will check it out later. I promise, Rand. I couldn't even understand it if I tried right now. Oh, guys, I'm just cleaning out my oven chamber. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing right now. Giving it a brush down. Okay, well, I think I'm going to use that as an opportunity, now that my voice has gone hoarse again. Let it go a little hoarse this weekend as well. Got to get used to these live streams again. Got to build up them vocal cords again. But gone a little hoarse. So I think I'm going to take a break for now. I think I'm going to be back tomorrow, and we will talk about Hinduism. I promise, Rand. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Same-ish time, same-ish place. New experiences, new products, a whole lot of love. It's been very real, guys. I'm going to go rest my voice. I'll check it out tomorrow. I'm going to watch it right now, Rand. I'm going to watch it right now. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. The most incredible person I know. But I got to go drink some water.